Yo,
That boy Vinny.
that boy Benny.
Yep. It's Wednesday, June 18th. Tomorrow, Juneteenth. How's it going?
Not too bad. It's been a little bit. Been a busy week, so had a game this week. Repping this is one of we call this our City Connect jerseys at West Side. They're kind of like the Chicago style.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's what I thought it was at first.
24. Yeah, no, this is our the Charlotte Dragons, the team I play for. This is our City Connect. But we wore our last game on Wednesday. We ended up taking the L. It was a good team actually, the Sea Dogs, and they beat us 4-0. I mean, it was just. I feel like we played a hard game. All of our hits were, I feel like, right at everybody, and we were striking out a lot too. We typically don't, and it was somebody he was probably one of the slower pitchers we faced this year. But speed doesn't mean anything. I mean, fastballs, I think all of us are pretty good at connecting on. But this guy had a variety of pitches. He had working with his fastball. He had a curveball, changeup, slider, and a sinker. And he got me on a slider on one of my at bats. So regardless of his speed, he was nasty. But Dragons will be back next week. So, but yeah, maybe next time you're out in Charlotte for playing, you have to come catch one of the games. Actually, could probably even get you to play a game if you want. Get in there.
That'd be awesome. I'll play anywhere.
Do some stretching though, because my quad still hurts from like 3-4 weeks ago. So, but I'm also in my 30s now. So, but yeah, there's a guy. I think he's called the Swingman or the Hitman or something. He's this like Instagram famous guy. He played professional ball. I think he got drafted by the Tigers, and we played him a couple games ago, and he was like posting us on Instagram. Like, I won't start no drama and some social media drama, but he's not who he says he is. We got him out every time. So, anyways, we'll move on. June 18th, though. You know what happened in June 18th down in Miami back in 2010?
2010. The only thing I can think of is that Giancarlo Stanton hit a grand slam for his.
Yep, that is correct.
I actually didn't see that one, but I just guessed that one.
Well, I knew you were a Stanton fan growing up, so I figured once I said Miami 2010.
I know it was against the Rays, and I'm trying to remember the pitcher.
I don't have that in front of me actually.
Okay.
But yeah, he did hit a grand slam for his first ever home. They end up winning that game 7-4, but I put them up 5-2. The bottom of the first inning too, a first inning grand slam to start it. And Stanton's a beast. He's back. That's some good news too for the Yankees. And so far, he's got like 2 for 4 games, I believe. He's come swinging. So I was kind of curious on how he'd be I guess he got surgery. Did he get surgery in both elbows, or he just was it a waiting period? I know he had like tinnitus or something in both of his elbows, both of his arms, but
something like that.
He looks to be okay, and he might be somebody that's worth fantasy value. So if you're in a fantasy league like us, he may be on one of our squads here soon. I almost picked him up. I end up going with Miguel Vargas just because he's hot right now, and yeah, he has multiple eligibilities for positions. So, but Stanton is very useful, I would say, for the Yankees. Did you have it on this day?
I did. Do you know what happened on this day in 2014? A Dodger starting pitcher.
Was it a no-hitter?
Yeah.
Was it Dirty Kershaw?
It was. Against?
The Cardinals?
No. I'll give you one more.
Let's go with the Reds.
It was against the poor Rockies.
Rockies.
So, yeah, Clayton Kershaw struck out 15 batters. No hit the Rockies. Another fun fact with this one, it was the shortest span of no-hitters between teammates. Just 24 days earlier, Josh Beckett no-hit the Phillies. I remember that one, too.
Nice.
So,
yeah, and I believe it might have been yesterday, I think, was anniversary of Justin Verlander no-hitter. That sound right?
yeah, I think so. I know he had one in 2011 and then 2007 against the Brewers. The one in 2011 was against the Blue Jays. I want to say the one in 2007 against the Brewers because their interleague schedules were June and July. So I think that's probably what that one was.
The interleague schedules, man. Remember that? How times have changed, man. They've changed so much just in our time watching ball. Remember the Astros used to be in the National League?
Yeah, the NL Central had 6 teams. And when the AL West only had 4.
Crazy times. Pitchers used to hit.
Fun times.
Now only one pitcher hits, and that's Ohtani because he's back in action. And he was hitting 100. I did not expect Ohtani to be hitting 100 on his debut. Not having any live sessions. Well, he had some live sessions, but not getting any work. Getting sent down to pitch because as valuable as his bat is, you can't do that. So I don't think you really need to do that with Ohtani, though.
All right. Want to get started with our fantasy recap from last week. Do you want to start us off?
You can go ahead first, actually. I'm going to see if I can
Sounds good.
Use my old ancient laptop and get it pulled up on here. But I have a little bit of an idea, so go ahead.
All right, so I'll start off. Me and Vinny and I actually both won last week. Usually doesn't happen where both of us both win in the same week. That's just kind of how it's been going for us this year. This is my 3rd straight week with a win. Before that, I didn't have any wins. I had a couple of ties, and I just had a lot of them that were close to ties that I just happened to lose. Last week, I won 7 categories, lost 4, tied 1. I won RBIs with 30. I won average at 259, won OPS at 708. Strikeouts with 54, 3 quality starts, 3.12 ERA, and a 1.27 whip. So those were the categories I took. Very impressed with my starting pitching last week. So hopefully it kind of continues. Vinny and I actually made a trade.
Yep.
I got one of his starting pitchers. I traded over Corey Seager, and I got Dylan Cease in return. We'll kind of talk about Dylan Cease in our next episode. A little bit of drama between the Padres and Dodgers, so we'll talk about that next episode. So let us know what you guys think of that trade.
Yeah, man, your team's looking pretty sharp lately. I think you're kind of known as the trade guy in the league, but I don't think they actually realize who you're getting and what value you're getting. You can go and trade Caminero, which, obviously he's doing very well, especially since you traded him. But you got Manny Machado out of that too. So
he's been doing really good.
Yeah, so
the only thing that sucks is that realistically Machado's not really a good keeper price while Caminero is.
Right.
But Manny Machado's performing a lot better, even though Caminero's still doing good, but
yeah.
So it's kind of evens it out.
Yep. But yeah, like Luke said, I did get the win last week. It feels so good to get a win because before this, I think the week before I got a tie, then it was a loss, and then maybe another tie, or I don't know. But it's been a little bit since I've gotten a win. Pretty far down in standings wise. But hey, last year I was in the championship. I started off the same way. I was like, my season's done. I had probably the same amount of moves. I'm at like 34 moves out of 50 already for the season. But my team's been so much better over time. I mean, last week, hitting wise, my team hit 242, which isn't great, but it was good enough to beat the opponent. I still did take that category, but I had more runs, 39 runs. OPS, a little over 7, 56 Ks, took that category. I took the holds category. ERA was just right at 3. Whip was pretty high, but it was pretty close to his as well. But my team's been good over time. Right now, I'm in the lead. My team's been hot. Let me go ahead and read off my team, too, because I haven't read off my team in a while, since I've made a lot of changes since. But I'm still rocking with Yanni Diaz at catcher. Christian Walker still at first base. I still have faith in Matt McLean. He's been pretty hot lately, too, so I'm glad I haven't dropped him or anything. Christian Campbell's been pretty rough for me. Josh Lowe, I do not have him anymore, but I did have him during the win. Jackson Merrill he's now on the IL. O'Neal Cruz is O'Neal Cruz. He's going to get me home runs and steals. Augustine Ramirez, he's definitely a keeper. Brent Rooker, he's been hitting bombs. Brandon Lau, who I'm going to talk about shortly, also just carrying my team in any way he can. Max Muncy found it. Joe Adell is now part of the Queen City Bandits, and he's hot right now. I'm going to go ahead and buy in on him. I'll take my chance on Joe Adell. He had such a high ceiling at one point, and I think it's still there. And then Jung Ho Lee, who you traded me. And then I did have Ronnie Mauricio for a little bit. Still have a little faith in him, but I did end up dropping him. He went 0 for 9 for me that week I did. So, but yeah, that's my team, man. We're the Queen City Bandits and the Cool Hand Lukes are rolling. I think we're going to get us a playoff spot. And I think I might have said it was top 8, but I think it's 6. So it means we got to.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah, we got to
kick it into gear a little bit more. I've been doing good the last few weeks. I just got to keep it up. I'll go ahead and read off the Cool Hand Lukes real quick since you read off the Bandits.
Yep.
So catching, I made a little bit of a change. I went with Tyler Stevenson. I did have David Fry. He just wasn't really getting the at-bats. A lot of it was like pinch hitting and stuff. Tyler Stevenson doing pretty well, getting a lot more at-bats. Vinny Pasquantino, he started off really rough this season, but he's done a lot better, driving in a lot more runs. Second base, I got Tommy Edman. Third base, Manny Machado. Shortstop, what a guy. Jacob Wilson.
Yeah.
Incredible guy to have. Outfield, I got Riley Green, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., James Wood. I also have Roman Anthony. Just got a stolen base for me earlier and a couple walks. I'll take that. I got Paul Goldschmidt. And then I kind of have made moves for in the next month. I picked up Jerkson Profar because he'll be back July 2nd. Chandler Simpson, I still have him just because he's doing so well. Eventually, I feel like he's going to get called back up. Great guy to have for stolen bases. Mm-hmm. And then Luke Keeschel, who actually you had until he got hurt.
Yeah.
So he's scheduled to be back like early July. I guess we'll see how that goes. And then Ha-Sung Kim, who's scheduled to be back around the same time. So some guys I'm kind of waiting on. My bullpen, Andres Munoz having a great year. Jason Adam, Reed Garrett, Phil Maton, and Michael Kopech.
Nice.
Starting rotation, Taj Bradley, who's going to be pitching for me tonight against Baltimore. Noah Cameron, he's been good. Yeah, Dylan Cease, Christopher Sanchez, another good guy. Tommy Yuki Sagano, I think that's how you say his first name. Might have butchered that.
Yeah.
Adrian Hauser has been actually kind of a surprise so far. Merrill Kelly, Clark Schmidt, and then Luis Eo, who comes back around All-Star break. So,
yeah, that's a squad right there. I didn't read off my pitching, but it's pretty much the same. It's been pretty similar to the same all season long, other than me and you made a trade. I traded Dylan Cease for Corey Seager straight up, which I think is probably about as even as it gets.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I picked up David Peterson, who's actually been just lights out, man. Just sitting everybody down. Not even with strikeouts. He's a ground ball pitcher, but he's just been awesome.
If he gets you the quality starts.
Yeah, he's getting them. I did pick up Mick Abel, who I'm probably going to drop. Thinking about either picking up Jose Soriano or Kershaw. Only because Kershaw's next 3 starts, Nationals, White Sox, Rockies. if they follow that every 5 day start, that's who he lands on. So that's kind of nice for Kershaw. But yeah, I picked up Kumar Rocker as well, who started off really great, and then I don't know if you saw the pickle shots, like multiple pickle shots on the mound because he was dehydrated and ended up not getting the quality start. But I think I'm going to rock him this week again. He's facing the Pirates, so if he doesn't do well against the Pirates, he will be dropped. But I got some faith in Kumar Rocker, man. If you look at his stats in the minors, they're just excellent. It's like maybe he's got a little bit of a control issue in the minors, but not really. I mean, he's pretty good. So, but what else did you have?
I guess we can go into our breakout players of the week.
Yeah, let's go for it. You want to go first?
So, I'll let you go first.
All right. So the 2 guys that I have mentioned already in this conversation. But my hitter is Brandon Lau. He's been excellent this season. He's hit 263 with 14 home runs, 39 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a 775 OPS. His last 7 at-bats, his last 7 games, 29 at-bats, 12 hits, 7 runs, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. So, but his last 7, he's hitting 414, the 469 OBP, and he's slugging 586. So I'm glad I picked him up in fantasy. He's been, like I said, one of my more consistent players since I picked him up. Kind of carrying the team in a lot of ways, smacking home runs. I think he might be my home run leader now at 14. It's between him and Rooker. But yeah, man, he's last 30. He's been hitting 333, slugging 632. So that guy's hot right now. If you're in a fantasy league and Brandon Lau is sitting on the bench, pick him up now because he's going off. My second player, my pitcher, is another guy I mentioned, like I said, Jose Soriano. He's rocking a 3.54 ERA. He's got 86 and 1/3 innings pitched, 70 strikeouts, and a 1.32 WHIP. He does have a little bit of a walk issue. He's kind of known for that, but this guy is like 25, 26 years old. And he's just, I think he's just looking great. I think he's going to be a really talented pitcher. He's already starting to show it. His last 7 games, he's got a 3.05 ERA, 33 strikeouts in 41 innings, 20 walks, and a 1.38 WHIP. So that walks is still a little bit of an issue. He can work on that. But he went against the Yankees, went 7 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. And then the game before that, he faced the Athletics, who actually have a really good hitting squad. Went another 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 12 Ks. So last 3 games, he's only 18 strikeouts to 3 walks. He might be figuring that walk issue out. So another guy I would pick up in fantasy if he's out there possibly is Jose Soriano. I got some faith in him. But what do you think about any of those 2 players? You've been paying attention to any?
Yeah, I remember when you got Brandon Lau and he started going off in our matchup. That's how I remember when he. So yeah, Jose Soriano? Yeah, I agree. I think if he gets the walk issue figured out more, which it seems like he's gotten better,
Yeah,
I think he's a
a
good
young
keeper.
player. If you were me in fantasy, because I asked you this question a lot, I'm like, hey, what do you think about these players? Would you rather pick up Jose Soriano or Clayton Kershaw?
It's kind of both have done well recently. I think Jose Soriano would be more likely to go deeper into a game than Kershaw
Agreed. Yeah.
right now. Now, that's also going by like health because,
Yeah.
Kershaw was out like most of the season up until this point. So,
He's 37.
yeah.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of been limited to pitching. I think he's been coming out like maybe around 80 pitches. I think like that's his max. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I agree. I think Soriano, he's more likely to just keep staying in the game and get closer to the 100 pitch mark if he has to. So,
Yeah.
might pick him up after this chat right here. Hopefully, nobody else does.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
My breakout players of the week. Last year, I traded this guy to get James Wood, and so far, I mean, what a trade that's been for me.
Yeah.
But as of late, Evan Carter has actually caught a little bit of a hot streak after he was hurt, struggling the last couple of years. But 18 at bats, got 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, batting .444 with a .546 OBP. So as Evan Carter finally is starting to, I guess, come around again. I know he did really good in the 2023 World Series. Last year, when he was healthy, he didn't do great. Kind of started off the same way this year, but the last week and a half or so catching fire. So we'll see how that goes. He's definitely got a health issue so far.
Yeah.
Because he's either day to day on the IL, but
yeah, he may be.
I guess we'll see.
He may be one of those players to where if he's healthy, he's going to play really well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good players out there that are, that just don't get the playing time because of that, and they're kind of become. I'm not going to say worthless in fantasy, but I mean, they're all
don't get enough at bats.
Yeah, so, and there's a lot of players like that. Royce Lewis being one of them, who actually was already just wasn't having a good year already. He's been not hitting great at all, and he's back on the IL. So, but he is one of those talented players. Royce Lewis he played all played 162 games. I think he would probably have a pretty good chance of winning MVP every year, but it's a personal opinion. But yeah, good pick right there.
Yep, and then another guy. This is a cool hand, Luke. My pitcher is Clark Schmidt.
Boy, Clark.
This guy acquired in a trade about a month ago, and I got Tommy Edman and a couple other pitchers too. Tommy Edman and Clark Schmidt were definitely the main pieces in this, and Clark Schmidt's been really good for me in the last 13 and 2/3 innings pitched. He has a win, 2 quality starts, 0 ERA, 0.66 WHIP with 10 strikeouts.
Jeez.
So he's good. This is another guy. When he's healthy, he's good. He started off the year injured. He's back and he's doing really good. He almost went 8 full innings the other night against the Angels. He went 7 2/3. I was watching that game. He looked good. I like him.
Yeah, he's a stud. Keeps it rolling. That's a big arm right there for the Yankees.
Yeah.
But, well, I think, did you have anything else?
Yeah, so it's kind of short, but Roman Anthony was also on my fantasy team. He had his first career home run the other night in Seattle against It's kind of started off a little bit slow so far, but I feel like that's most rookies, unless if you're like Mike Trout, who also started off slow and to start his career. I mean, it's not everyone's Bryce Harper when they come up to the big leagues. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, you saw what he did in the minors. You saw his minor league numbers. So I think he's going to be good. So
Oh
I
yeah.
think he'll get the at bats, especially now. And we'll go ahead and cover this. One of the reasons why I think he'll stay up is a trade that the Red Sox made the other night with the San Francisco Giants. And if you haven't heard, if you live under a rock, the Red Sox traded Rafael Devers to the Giants. And I got to say, my jaw hit the floor when I saw that. I thought it was fake at first, and then I saw that Talking Baseball and John Boy Media both posted it, and I was like, crazy. I mean, it's the most random time for a blockbuster trade like this. I mean, this is something you normally see either at the deadline or at like the winter meetings. So the Red Sox traded Devers, and the package, it's kind of like a Mookie Betts package, in my opinion. They received Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, the Giants' number 4 prospect, James Tibbs, I believe, the third, and righty Jose Bayo. And I'm not really a fan of the package. I mean, I like Kyle Harrison. He's definitely got some potential, and
Yeah, he does.
you've seen what Jordan Hicks can do, but I
Us
mean,
being
really for Devers,
us being Cardinal fans, we know that Jordan Hicks in a trade for Devers is just kind of silly.
yeah.
I mean, Jordan Hicks definitely has something there, but we got to think when he first came into the league, he was the hardest throwing pitcher in baseball. He was touching 103 pretty consistently, and then he blew out his arm. And I mean, now he's not that type of pitcher. This season, I think he's rocking like a 6 ERA or something. So yeah, I think a lot more has to do. I think there's just more drama probably built up within the Boston clubhouse and Rafael Devers. There's all types of stories out there now. Like even there was a clip on Jarren Duran, kind of saying he's just one guy. Like we're gonna win and do do what we can without him. And he was kind of saying like we don't care that he's not there. Like he does. I'm not saying that's what he meant, but it kind of sounds like it. Like he just said Devers is one guy. We got this many players, so.
And
I heard that they didn't really get along that well either. But James Tibbs, though, he is a first-round pick out last season out of 2024. So I mean, Florida State guy. They grow some ball players there. His career stats: he had 319 at bats, 55 runs, 77 hits, 14 home runs, 14 home runs and 319 at bats. Looking pretty good. And he actually had 12 home runs and 211 bats, 38 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, hitting 241, 348 OBP, and a 774 OPS. So he's still young. He's 22, but I think he's going to be a stud. So, I mean, they did get him a good player. Not that they didn't get absolutely nobody, but it's Rafael Devers, man. Like, that dude might 9 OPS. And he's probably going to have 30 home runs. He's looking like he's already hitting great in a Giants uniform. So,
yeah, and the thing about it is, it's kind of also goes back to like trading Mookie Betts. It's like you can get some of these prospects and everything, but how many of them are going to be near the talent that Devers or Betts are? Like, is it really worth it when you think about it? Because true, I mean, you never know who you're going to get with prospects. They could be the next Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, or they might be like Jeter Downs.
Yeah.
Like who they thought was going to be like the next Jeter, but it just didn't work out. Same with Verdugo.
Yeah.
Just
and
didn't work out. So I guess we'll see.
Boston fans, don't forget, and like my position at work, I work with this guy. He's from Boston, and I said, "Oh, I take it you're a Red Sox fan." He said, "No, not anymore." He's like, "I stopped watching them once they traded Mookie," and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I'd be upset too." But I was just like, "Man, now you're trading Devers." Like, my coworker's definitely not watching the Red Sox anymore. But yeah, that's pretty crazy though.
Yeah, and some of the drama behind it, and you mentioned Jarren Duran, which is funny because I know that there was trade interest regarding Duran probably about a month ago
Yeah.
with the Padres, and now also the Mets seem to be interested. We were kind of thinking, oh, they're not going to trade Duran. Well, after this, I don't know. I mean, I would not doubt if they traded Duran like at the deadline or at any point. I get that
Kyle
he's one of their younger stars, but I don't know.
and Jordan Hicks, though, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, if you're having trouble in the clubhouse, like, yeah, that can affect how a team works together. It can make it uncomfortable. If you don't want to, you're under contract and you're a player, and there's people that work above you. So, in some way, there is like like regulations and stuff and things that you should probably do. But I mean, you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and I know the whole first base thing. It started not playing third. Yeah. Sorry about that. What I was saying though is, there's started off at him not playing third base, and then the drama started from there, and then went to first base. They want him to play. He said no, and then Christian Campbell. Like I think he might have had a little bit on his situation.
Yeah, that was. I don't know how good you guys can read this. I got these from John Boy Media talking baseball, but basically what this is saying is that whenever Devers declined to play first base, Christian Campbell kind of stepped up and volunteered, and I guess Devers was pretty upset with that. This whole thing is kind of like I see both sides, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, Devers is your guy. Like, he's your potential, like, Hall of Famer, like Big Papi type,
Yep.
Red Sox player. So, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, if you don't want to play first, I mean, and there's a guy who wants to be a part of he wants to stay up in the majors any way he can, and he's kind of struggling. He's going to volunteer to play first base. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, how are you going to get mad at somebody else for volunteering if you don't want to do it yourself?
Yeah.
And it kind of also brings me to this next one. And he says that apparently he is going to play first base for the Giants. He said he's going to play wherever they want him to play, which is kind of like a pretty petty thing, I guess. But
yeah,
kind of, I guess, to get back at the Red Sox, it definitely seems like they're kind of ended on really bad terms. So,
well, I think
I
think the best part about this whole thing is that they play each other this weekend.
That is right. They do play each other this weekend. And if only it was in Boston, though. It's in San Francisco, but
I know. But
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm definitely tuning into that series. That would be my games of the week, just because of the weirdness of everything, the tension, the first big trade of the season. So, yeah, Red Sox fans, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that sucks.
We had you guys go into the World Series this year. My prediction. After trading Devers, it looks like maybe you guys are trying to do a rebuilding session now. So to me, that just like, don't consider us a playoff team now. Like, consider us a rebuilding team for the next season. If you're trading your best player away, before All-Star break and well before All-Star break. So
yeah,
kind of crazy, but.
All right. Do you have anything left for this episode? We'll be doing another part to this. So stay tuned to that. Our second part will probably be uploaded tomorrow.
Yep.
So we'll have one out tonight as well.
Sweet. All right. Is that it?
Yep.
643.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace.